Hey guys, this is Asterix, and this is the Jungle Search and Destroy. And it gets pretty crazy because I'm using extended mags on Galil, and I just feel like spraying a lot. And I'm using Marathon Pro too. I know it's not Ninja Pro and I'm playing Search, so you're like, what the heck? Why aren't you tryharding? And I was playing with my friends, and it wasn't really that big of a deal, so yeah. So I wanted to talk to you about what it's like being a freshman in college since I was just one last year. And I figured, it's that time of the year, everyone's going to college and back to school and whatnot. And so I figured I would share some of my experiences and give some tips on what to do when you first get there. So the first thing and the most important thing is do not be afraid. You have to go out of your box if you really want to have a great time at college. Everyone is there. It's pretty much everyone's first time being on their own and not having anyone around them that they know. And so everyone's feeling uncomfortable just the same way you are. Everyone's doesn't have friends and it's just one big weird awkward group. So, yeah, you just want to everyone you meet, just say hi to them, try and strike up a conversation. If it leads somewhere, then hopefully you start getting more and more friends and it'll lead to something. I mean, within the first few weeks, everyone's doing that. And then by that time, by the end of those first few weeks, people start forming their groups and stuff. And it's like, if you slack off and you're like, oh, I don't really feel like talking to them. And then in those, a few weeks after you try and meet with people, everyone's already formed their groups and it's too late because they're all together and you feel all awkward because you're by yourself. And so it's just best to do it once you get there because I mean everyone's in the same situation, so why not? And you can sort of test this out on your roommate because you're going to be living with them all year, so you want to be good friends with them and because you're going to have struggles with them because they're not you and they don't understand everything about you and you don't understand everything about them. So yeah, once you meet your roommate, say what's up, try and figure out if you have anything in common, and hopefully you will. I know some people have like horror stories of roommates, and I mean, if it does get that bad, honestly, you can like request a room change or whatever. Like if you meet someone else that's hella chill, you can go and move in with them if they're willing to. So if it gets that bad, you can. So don't worry too much. My roommate. We got along great. He's going to be my roommate this year too, and yeah, just try your best to make friends is like the main thing. The next thing is oh, you have a chance to change who you are. I mean, this is no one knows who you are, right? So it's like there's something in your past, or you acted a certain way in high school, and you weren't really like liking that as much anymore. You have a chance to change who you are. You can become a totally different person. So if that was, something that you desired, you can now because no one knew who you were, and now you can share with everyone who you truly want to be. So yeah, there's that. And moving on to like actual like dealing with college and whatnot. Let's talk about classes. College classes so much different than high school, or at least for me. Sure, you got to pick some of your classes in high school, but you still pretty much had to take certain ones like math, science, English every year, history, all that fun stuff. Not really. Um, but in college, you choose what you want to take and at what time you want to take and what teacher you want to take it with. There are so many different ways you can schedule your classes. It is great. And luckily at my college, there's a website where it like rates the teachers and so you can go on there before you register for classes and figure out who you want to take as a teacher. And there's a couple websites that are like for just colleges all around, and one of them is myedu.com. I've tried that and it works pretty well. And so, once you go through your first semester or whatever, and you want to make sure you get good teachers for next semester, you can just go on there, type in the teacher's name, and it'll pop up. It'll show you their average grades. So you can be like, okay, this class is going to be easy, or it'll be giving me a little bit of a challenge, but they're still a good teacher type thing. So, like, take the easy classes for the GE that you don't care about, but for your major, take more of a challenging class, but the teacher will be there to help you out and through all that stuff. And another thing about classes is teachers' office hours, when they can, go and help, like when they were dedicate some time to go and help you. I strongly encourage this, not just to get help, but to like sort of get on the teacher's good side, so they actually know who you are. I mean, if you're in a huge lecture hall with hundreds of kids, you want to be one of the students that the teacher knows and is familiar with. So when he or she comes up to your paper and grades it, she'll be like, "Oh, this kid came into my office and totally showed like enthusiasm and joy for this class, so I should give him a better grade." And it's totally true. Like, it's definitely helped boost some of my grades, like for papers and English and stuff, going in a million times to get it revised by them and stuff like that. It works out great. And with classes, you need to really organize your time, because in college you actually have quite a lot of free time, and you can either utilize that time or not to work on all your homework and studying and projects, and then scheduling some fun time in there. And don't worry about not having fun time, or like being able to go mess around with friends or whatever, because you definitely have that. There'll be a couple classes, like if you have labs or something, that'll take up time, but you'll have your weekends and all that stuff, and you'll always have some free time. And you can stay up late. Like, sometimes you'll have classes that start in the afternoon. Sometimes you don't even have classes on some days. It's crazy. College is just a great experience. So, yeah, just to go over the things again, I guess. So don't be afraid of who you are. You got to just go out and make friends, even though it is so socially awkward and weird. I was a really shy person, and I'm still pretty shy, but I was able to make friends. So if I could do it, I know you guys can do it. And try and get on your good side with your roommates, so you don't have to deal with their problems too much. And you also have a chance to change who you are if you didn't like some of the things you were doing before in high school or whatever. And classes and work and all that stuff is different. And make sure to organize your time really well, because that's where it counts to either doing well or most people dropping out their first year because they haven't learned how to organize their time. Thanks for your time for watching this. If you enjoyed it, give it a like or whatever, subscribe. Yeah.